All right, so the funeral memorial event for George Floyd is scheduled for Thursday, the 4th of June in Minneapolis, and then there's going to be a trip down to Houston, Harris County, where I think he originally is from, and there's going to be more memorial or funeral events down there as well. So we're going to be consumed with the entire weekend. So just, this weekend is going to be George Floyd watching funerals. And I understand that they've tapped CI-7 Sharpton to deliver the eulogy. Ben Crump's going to be speaking, a bunch of other people. Jesse will probably be there. I don't know if Obama's going to show up. But it's going to be a clown show if you ever seen one. But, and somebody's got to deliver the eulogy, to be sure. I think he may have had a local pastor or some preacher. I saw with him yesterday. Somebody's got to deliver the eulogy. And not just that, but I think that someone has to give counsel to George Floyd's family, his brother and sister and his girlfriend, fiance, whoever she was, I don't know, and children. Somebody needs to give counsel to tell them how to handle media and how to handle all of this, because this is big time. This is national planet. They're watching this up on Soyuz spacecraft up there on Mars. This is big news, and you just gonna walk into this kind of an event without somebody who can professionally guide you, who knows the ropes, who knows what to say, what not to say, and so forth and so on. That needs to happen, and but my question is this: is how much money is Al Sharpton gonna make of this boy, and Ben Crump, because they number 2 players, and they probably have pushed everybody else out. And if there's anybody that gets anything in there, Crump, Al Sharpton and Crump, though they're going to get a big chunk if there's a settlement, if there's an award that's given by the state of Minnesota, or the city of Minneapolis, if they can able to sue for $4 or $5 million, $10 million, $20 million, $30 million for a wrongful death suit, Sharpton going to get a percentage of that. Sharpton get at least 20%. If they get $10 million, Sharpton going to get 2. And Ben Crump probably is a lawyer. Now here, I have to say this as I open up, somebody's got to give them this kind of advice. I'm not saying that you shouldn't get paid for this kind of advice. Well, maybe a person of greater ethics would not necessarily require a payment. Sharpton and Ben Crump do not do pro bono work. You know what pro bono work, pro bono mean? I don't either. But I think it's some sort of Latin term that says you're going to do it for free. I don't know where they get the pro bono. I don't know what I say here we go together, right? But Sharpton don't do no pro bono work. Sharpton lives in a $13,000 a month apartment on 72nd Street on Broadway here in New York City. You don't live in Harlem. Can you imagine Sharpton stepping out of his house in Harlem to go get a carton of milk? He ain't taking no chances with these uptown brothers. That boy live $13,000 a month. Imagine that. People don't pay that much for mortgages for 3-4 houses or churches. Your mortgage on a church would be $13,000. And by the way, this is rent, not mortgage. Sharpton pay. I don't know what Ben Crump is getting. He's getting plenty too. So I'm not saying that they shouldn't get paid. Did I say that? I didn't say that. Somebody got to get paid. I want to get what that rapper said. Got to get paid, right? Got to get paid. But you would think that what I'm trying to point out is that probably Sharpton is so happy that this boy got killed, because now he can go make some money. And now he gonna pick up $2, $3, $4, $5 million. And so is Ben Crump. They're gonna pick it up. They're gonna get it from the state. They're gonna get it from the government. A lot of people gonna give. A whole lot of people with bleeding hearts gonna send all kind of money to the Floyd family. They're gonna get it, and Sharpton gonna get a cut of that. He said, Pastor, are you jealous? No, I'm not jealous. There's nothing. I'm not counting another man's money. In other words, I'm not saying that, if you do a legitimate job, you ought to get paid. However, I do think that, there's times when pro bono could be at, something, because that's just to rip people off for money. And let me tell you something, if you don't give Sharpton money, he ain't coming. And let me tell you something else. Everybody knows that this is Sharpton's position. You better not try to squeeze in. Sharpton will put a squeeze on you. Sharpton will put the word, if somebody, let's say some other preacher shows up, right, and tries to do the eulogy, Sharpton will put a word out on him. He won't be able to get arrested. That's right. Sharpton is worse than Don Corleone in the mafia. That's right. You don't, this is Sharpton's, this is his bailiwick, this is what he does, he and Ben Crump, they work together. So, I mean, I guess I'm ambivalent about this to some degree because I realize somebody got to get paid. I don't begrudge them getting paid. I just think that they're hustlers and maybe somebody else. Why it always got to be them? Well, they can always get the publicity. They can get television cameras, and they can get a crowd together. So that's why we all choose them like we anybody else. We just choose Cassius Clay because he can get. We're gonna get somebody who can get the press, who can get the police, who can get it. Okay. All right. But I think that my other thing is, I don't know where Ben Crump came from. He ain't no Johnny Cochran. I can tell you that right. That boy, I don't know where, I didn't get there anyway. But I guess he knows how to maneuver. So, I mean, I thought I would say that to y'all. And be on the lookout, it's going to be one miserable Thursday and Friday watching these people eulogize George Floyd. And by the way, let me say this. I mean, I will not call the name of that person that lynched George Floyd out there in the streets last Monday, a week ago. I won't call his name. He's a murderer. I'm going to call him Lynch, Mr. Lynch, because that's what a lynching. And lynching is acropro because he choked him. That's what you do when you hang a man. You choke him. You asphyxiate him, right? And that's what I will never speak his name. I will never speak this clown's name. It ain't coming out of my mouth. I can tell you that right now. All the other idiots can say it over. But I say we ought to start a movement. Don't call this fool's name. Call him Mr. Lynch, but don't call his name. Because there are some people, like the Boogaloo movement and some of the redneck boys, some of the, boys down there in Dixie, some of them boys think this man is a hero. Hell, they're going to put him on a cross. They are, and they're going to be, I can tell you this right now, if they hold that trial in Minneapolis, if Minneapolis, I don't know if Minnesota is an open carry state, but I'm going to tell you something. They're going to be at least 100 to 150,000 rednecks their trucks and their AR-15 rifles. When that trial gets started a year from now, they're going to be up there camping out in the woods, and they're going to call Mr. Lynch a hero. Now, their point of view, you can say what you say. You say you think how awful it is. I'm telling you, there are people in America right now that thinks that man is a hero. They think he is a hero. Hell, I put out a tweet today saying that, Trump, he's a Japheth man fool. Did y'all see what Trump did yesterday at Lafayette Park? You see what he did? He had the cavalry, he had the U.S. military out of Fort Bragg. He had the Secret Service, the Park Police, the D.C. Police, all of them pushing them, shooting rubber bullets, and they were peaceful. Trump pushed them back, getting tough. Then he took a stroll over to St. John's Church and stood there with a Bible. Didn't pray, didn't say Jesus. He sat there with a Bible. You see him, the fool, he didn't know what to do. He looked at it, then he raised it up like that, and then he walked away. If you're going to go to a church, man, with a Bible, pray. He didn't pray. And then he walked back. I wouldn't be surprised if you would see Trump riding down Fifth Avenue here in New York City on a black horse with a sable and a fly on a Confederate flag. Somebody said it was a sable. You're talking about a sable coat. What an idiot. There he is right there. That's a Photoshop. Let me tell you something. These Japheth boys, these Japheth preachers, them Robert Jefferson type of Southern Baptist, gonna put that picture in the bedroom while he's having sex with his wife. Woo! 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 That's right. Trump in front of a church bulletin board with a Bible. Let's have sex, honey. That's how sick these people are. I'm telling you. You better listen to me. You better listen because I'm Mr. Truth. So I expect Trump to see riding Trump down on a black horse, riding down Fifth Avenue, with a Robert E. Lee sword in his hand, riding down Fifth Avenue. On the back of the horse, tied to the horse's tail would be a Confederate flag. Trump was looking to make a name for himself. But, I think that we're in a very desperate time. We're in the tribulation. There's not very much you can do about it. It's a commentate on it. There's very little anybody can do to stop any of this. I got news for you. Wait till November and the election time come. You ain't seen nothing yet, homie. You ain't seen nothing yet. This is a bit of a news blog we do, looking at spiritual wickedness in high places for the most part, making some observations about it and giving people a biblical foundation to the way of interpreting, rather than have Sean Hannity or Laura Ingraham or Janine Pirro or Anderson Cooper or Rachel Maddow or Don Lemon, Rush Limbaugh interpret what's going on in the world. You come to me and I'll tell you based on what the Word of God says. They'll just give you their worldly, sinful view. But the Manning Report will tell you what God has said, whether to say yea or nay, whether to go or to stay. You'll be led by the word of Almighty God. Come to the Manning Report on a daily basis to interpret the spiritual wickedness in high places, because there's plenty of it that's going on. And so I'm the Lord's servant, James David Righteous Rebel Manning, and I'm here to serve you with news and information.